let's begin with this extremely important topic. Let's get serious now. Who should give in at this point? Facing a 24-day government shutdown. This has already become the second longest shutdown in history. And do you know who has the longest? Many people already know. It's Donald Trump. In his first term, Donald Trump oversaw the longest government shutdown in history, lasting 35 days. Now, Donald Trump has also positioned himself in second place. With 24 days of government shutdown, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. The third longest shutdown happened under Bill Clinton, and if I remember correctly, it was 21 days. So, Donald Trump already set the record in his first term, and now in his second, he set the mark for second place with this new shutdown. He's been in first place with his 35-day shutdown, and now he's in second place with 24, and counting. And who knows how long this one will be. I'll be honest, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I don't doubt it could happen, and it could be longer. There isn't much light at the end of the tunnel. And some say there doesn't seem to be much will on either side right now to reach that happy medium. But we're going to talk about this now for precisely that reason. Look, I was having a very interesting conversation with one of my close friends from Puerto Rico who does some work for... Well, it's related to some government work in the department of one of the departments. I'm not going to go into too much detail. The point is, he was telling me, "Look, Daniel, I think we're doing badly." He's referring to the Democrats. I think we're doing badly because I'm listening to some people who are upset. A boss of mine and others who, he tells me, are supposedly talking about, among government employees and maybe the military, saying that Democrats are going to make our lives miserable by not reopening the government. Right? They're going to affect us. Why? Because remember, right now the troops and countless public employees aren't getting paid. Some are being suspended without pay. Some will get retroactive pay, but in some cases, I understand there's a sector that won't get it when they return to work, if they can return to work at all. And they're starting to feel the pressure. So when we started talking about this, he was like, "Look, there are already 4 Democrats who have given in. There are already 4 Democrats who are in favor of reopening the government." And I told them, "Look, the news I saw today is 3. We're talking about John Fetterman, and there are 2 others. At the moment, for different reasons. John Fetterman says, 'I don't think the way to fix this is by shutting down the government. This has to be fixed.' You know, working there, he has a point, but I'll get to that later. There's another Democrat. I forgot her name. She's not someone who gets a lot of press. And she said she didn't think the government shutdown was positive either. Why? Because the government shutdown simply gives Trump more opportunities to achieve his goals, she claims. She argues that the shutdown helps Trump. That's her argument. So, I told him, "Look, I don't really agree. I understand this is very difficult. It's very delicate. Why? Because, yes, many people aren't getting paid right now, but we have to look at the other side of the coin." He was talking to his boss, and I said, "Ask your boss, would he feel better if he received his check on Friday, or every 2 weeks, while at the same time, we condemn 51,000 people to die yearly, according to the data? The new study, there's a study saying that if they don't extend the ACA subsidies, 51,000 people are going to die," I told him. So this has 2 sides, and both sides are sad and difficult. So, on the one hand, we're talking about people who are going to die, period. 51,000 people every year. On the other hand, it's about pleasing Trump without any guarantees. I told him, so let's analyze this piece by piece. But first, I want to present the following. Traditionally, I don't know if you've heard this, but I've mentioned it here on my podcast several times. Traditionally, government shutdowns affect the administration in power. Let me repeat that. Shutdowns have traditionally affected the administration in power more than the minority. Look at this news story I have for you from CNN that establishes this point. The question is, could the Democrats win the shutdown impasse? They keep winning the blame game. I mean, according to CNN, the Democrats are getting the better of it right now. The Democrats keep winning the blame game. President Donald Trump claimed Tuesday that the Democrats were being outpolled. "The public understands what they're doing," Trump said. "They're doing the wrong thing." But that doesn't seem entirely accurate. In fact, every quality public poll, note this, every quality public poll has shown that Trump and the Republicans continue to shoulder more of the blame than the Democrats. This is the first survey I want to present to you. This is a general survey. The first news article about the general polls, in most media, including Fox News, right-wing media like Fox News, is clearly establishing that Donald Trump and the Republicans are getting the worst of the public perception because they have the executive branch, they have the House, they have the Senate. You can't tell people, yes, they gave us the vote, the mandate, the super mandate of 77 million votes, a mandate they used to justify Trump's abuse of power. The super mandate. But the thing is, they have it all, the trifecta, full control, but they don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to dominate a minority that supposedly holds them hostage. And the great negotiator, the author of The Art of the Deal, can't figure out how to make a deal to save the country. Traditionally, closures affect a party in power. So, I think Republicans should keep that in mind, and Democrats shouldn't give up now. They should keep going until Republicans do the right thing and save healthcare for those who need it most.
I think it would be a tremendously negative mark on the President of the United States. He's the one that has to get people together. I hear the Democrats are going to be blamed and the Republicans are going to be blamed. I actually think the president would be blamed.
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead.
When that happens, I would absolutely blame the Democrats.
I heard Boehner, before I left, say there's no way we're going to close up government. Well, that means the other side just won. Because if you don't have that at least threat, you can't do anything. You can't, and they got nothing. You got to say, we're going to close it, we're going to close it. You got to scare them.
As far as keeping the government open, I think we want to keep the government open. Don't you agree?
But you can't negotiate when your top person said, there's no way we close up government.
Build that wall. Now, the obstructionist Democrats would like us not to do it, but believe me, we have to close down our government. We're building that wall.
When the government is, when they talk about the government shutdown, they're going to be talking about the President of the United States. Who was the president at that time? So I really think the pressure is on the president.
The Democrats are really looking at something that is very dangerous for our country. They are looking at shutting down.
It's not really shutting down the government. It's cutting costs. The kind of money that you're talking about is peanuts.
We have, of all in the world, probably the dumbest leadership. That's why. It's very simple.